Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how many times over the many decades Watchtower has used the term speeding up in their own literature in reference to speeding up their ingathering work before Armageddon strikes. It is so redundant that it's over the top ridiculous, but it goes to show how they keep their followers in cult mind control.
I'm changing my life and I won't look back ever again.
First off, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps get the word out to more listeners, and together we can help a lot of people. Now, full disclosure, I didn't come up with this idea that we're going to talk about today. I first saw it reported on another XJW YouTube channel called Self-Aware NPC about, maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I happened to take notes on it so that I could share it with family members at some point. I went to look for that video today because I wanted to link it in the description below, but I can't even find the channel anymore. I know she had mentioned she was going to take a break, but I didn't realize she was going to take down all the videos. I mean, if I'm just not finding it, if one of you sees it, please let me know, and I'll put the link in the description below because her videos are fabulous, and I would have loved to have referenced her video in the description below, but I just couldn't find it. But thankfully, I had my notes that I had taken a year and a half, 2 years ago on it, and I had kept them because I thought they were so impactful and so important, like many of her videos. I hope she goes back to making them again. The significance of the quotes that we are going to read today just goes to show how Jehovah's Witnesses really are a man-made organization and how they continue to dangle a carrot in front of their followers to keep their followers in a perpetual hamster wheel of servitude. Now, the link to the PDF of the information I'm going to share with you today will be in the description below. It's all the work's been done for you. It'll be ready for you to take a look at and to print, all for free. So let's get started. 2019, Organized to Do God's Will, page 85, paragraph 38. Quote, "It is obvious that Jehovah is indeed speeding up the ingathering of those whom he will protect through the Great Tribulation." Unquote. 2018, July Watchtower, page 4. Quote, "It is very exciting to see how Jehovah is speeding up the work." Unquote. 2016 Yearbook, page 16. Quote, "How thrilling it is to see that Jehovah has been speeding up the worldwide expansion of true worship." Unquote. 2015, February Kingdom Ministry, page 4. Quote, "Jehovah is speeding up the kingdom preaching work during this time of the end." Unquote. 2013, July Kingdom Ministry, page 3, paragraph 5. Quote, "As prophesied, Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering." Unquote. 2011, February Kingdom Ministry, page 4. Quote, "Truly, Jehovah is speeding up the work of gathering disciples in our time." Unquote. 2009, December Kingdom Ministry, page 4. Quote, "Truly, Jehovah is speeding up the work in its own time." Unquote. 2007, September Kingdom Ministry, page 1, paragraph 6. Quote, "Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering." Unquote. 2007, July Kingdom Ministry, page 4, paragraph 6. Quote, "This system of things is winding down, but our work of preaching and teaching is speeding up." Unquote. 2006, December Kingdom Ministry, page 6, paragraph 7. Quote, "With Jehovah speeding up the final spiritual harvest, there is much work for which to volunteer." Unquote. 2001, January 15th, Watchtower, page 12, paragraph 2. "Unquestionably, this confirms that Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering of true worshipers before the outbreak of the Great Tribulation, now so near at hand." Unquote. 1996 Yearbook. Quote, "The prospect for speeding up the work is bright with the use of our new knowledge book, None of us can determine how long the door of opportunity will remain open for sheep-like ones to enter the safety of our spiritual paradise, unquote. 1996, February Kingdom Ministry, page 1, paragraph 4. Quote, reports show that Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering of sheep-like ones, unquote. 1995 yearbook, page 4 and 5. Jehovah is truly speeding it up. Long ago, through the prophet Isaiah, Jehovah foretold that in the appointed time, he would speed up the ingathering of lovers of righteousness. The report for the past service year gives evidence that this is exactly what is taking place, unquote. 1995, September 1st, Watchtower, page 17, paragraph 14. Quote, the outstanding increases reported around the world are evidence that Jehovah is speeding it up in its own time, unquote. 1995, August 15th, Watchtower, page 24. Quote, Jehovah is now speeding things up at the proper time, not just by individuals, but also by households, unquote. 1995, August Kingdom Ministry, page 4. Quote, what satisfaction it brings to a dedicated Christian when he thus cooperates with Jehovah's speeding up of the ingathering work, unquote. 1994, May 1st, Watchtower, page 20, paragraph 20. Quote, as Jehovah long ago promised at Isaiah 60:22, he is surely speeding up the work in its own time, unquote. 1993, Proclaimer's Book, page 325. Quote, as the scriptures had foretold, Jehovah was truly speeding up the work of ingathering, unquote. 1993, January 1st, Watchtower, page 10, paragraph 4. Quote, speeding it up. The ingathering accelerates as the end of Satan's system approaches. This speeding up is reflected marvelously in the 1992 service year report of Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide, published on pages 12 to 15 of this magazine, unquote. 1992, August 1st, Watchtower, page 8, paragraph 3. Quote, clearly Jehovah is speeding things up, and his blessing is upon the efforts of his people, unquote. 1992, January 15th, Watchtower, page 17, paragraph 14. Quote, today Jehovah is speeding up the gathering of sheep-like ones into his expanding organization, unquote. 1990, January Kingdom Ministry, page 1. Quote, now that Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering of sheep-like ones, many of us are calling on our neighbors more often, unquote. 1989, November 1st, Watchtower, page 25. Quote, yes, Jehovah was speeding up the work in its own time, so further expansion of the branch facilities was inevitable, unquote. 1989, November 1st, Watchtower, page 27. Quote, the newly dedicated buildings stand as a testimony to Jehovah's speeding up the ingathering during the anti-typical festival of booths, unquote. 1988, July 15th, Watchtower, page 15, paragraph 1. Quote, Jehovah is now speeding up the ingathering of sheep-like ones. Surely then, this is no time for his people to slow down in their kingdom preaching and disciple-making work, unquote. 1987, May 15th, Watchtower, page 13, paragraph 14. Quote, truly the prophecy of Isaiah 60:22 is having its fulfillment. Jehovah is speeding up his preaching and ingathering work in its own time, and now is that time, unquote. 1985, yearbook, page 8. Quote, Jehovah is speeding up the increase, unquote. And then quote again, truly Jehovah is speeding up the increase in its time, unquote. 1985, yearbook, page 45. Quote, thrilling events are taking place as Jehovah is speeding up the grand ingathering of his sheep-like ones, unquote. 1985, March 1st, Watchtower, page 21, paragraph 16. Quote, speeding it up. Jehovah adds a third part to his promise. I myself, Jehovah, shall speed it up in its own time. As we stand at the brink of the Great Tribulation, the time for this is now, unquote. 1984, September Kingdom Ministry, page 1. Quote, Jehovah is speeding up things toward a climax before the outbreak of the Great Tribulation, unquote. 1984, May Kingdom Ministry, page 6. Quote, Jehovah is speeding up the kingdom work, and as the increase continues worldwide, it should be our sincere desire to help these sheep-like ones to advance to maturity, unquote. 1984, January Kingdom Ministry. Quote, do not these prophetic words of Isaiah thrill and inspire us? They surely do. Jehovah's prophet went on to say that the small one will become a mighty nation. I myself, Jehovah, shall speed it up in its own time. These are exciting times in view of the growth within Jehovah's organization. Attendance of 1,124,070 was reached. Think of the privilege of being a part of the even larger attendance expected for over 100 Kingdom increased district conventions planned for this summer, and of hearing how Jehovah is speeding up the kingdom work, and about the share we can have in it before the end comes, unquote. 1983, July 15th, Watchtower, page 22, paragraph 4. Quote, reports from the field show that as we approach the end, Jehovah is speeding it up in its own time, unquote. 1984, April Kingdom Ministry, page 7. Quote, let us continue to show by our vigorous support of all features of the ministry that we are grateful to Jehovah for speeding up the kingdom work, unquote. 1980 Yearbook, page 142, quote, speeding it up in its own time. Although the ingathering of the other sheep had made steady progress from 1963 to 1966, it can be said that Jehovah now really began speeding it up in its own time, unquote. 1978, January 1st, Watchtower, page 28, quote, in some regions where there are no witnesses, the angels seem to find other means of speeding up the work of ingathering, unquote. 1976 Yearbook, page 225, quote, Jehovah is speeding up his work in this country of such colorful variety in racial and national groups, unquote. 1974 Yearbook, page 65. Now notice this was the 1974 Yearbook, which is why they speculated whether China would be given a further witness before the end. It says, quote, Jehovah's Witnesses are very much alive and very active in this difficult field. They exerting themselves in giving the witness and making disciples. They can see that Jehovah is speeding up the work and are confident that he will open up the hearts of many more sheep-like ones to learn the truth. There is a fine potential for further increase among the many new ones now associating. As for our dear brothers behind the bamboo curtain, we can remember them in our prayers before Jehovah. Once in a while, word comes through that lets us know they are keeping their integrity in that land. Whether a further witness be given in China or not before the Great Tribulation breaks, we must leave it in the hands of our loving God, Jehovah, unquote. 1974, December 15th, Watchtower, page 745 and 747, quote, speeding up the discipling work in France, unquote. Quote, the work of making disciples is certainly being sped up in France, unquote. 1974, May Kingdom Ministry, page 1. Quote, we are very much aware of the rapid growth in the size and number of our congregations. Everywhere, it seems, new kingdom halls are being built, and in many cases, these soon become overcrowded. It is, as foretold, Jehovah is speeding up the ingathering in this time of the end, unquote. 1974, January 15th, Watchtower, page 49, paragraph 3. Quote, are you keeping close in mind that fiery day of Jehovah? Is it so real to you that you can see it clearly immediately ahead of you? According to the Kingdom Interlinear translation of the Greek scriptures, that expression, keeping close in mind, is speeding up, so we should not be slowing it down. That is, not looking at Jehovah's day as a long way off and putting it off, unquote. 1973, June Kingdom Ministry, page 1. Quote, as the end draws near, Jehovah is indeed speeding up the increase, unquote. 1971, February 1st, Watchtower, page 88 and 89. Quote, with the pace of response from the proclamation of the good news of the kingdom rapidly increasing, it is clearly evident that this is the time when Jehovah is speeding up the growth of his earthly organization, unquote. 1969 Yearbook, page 153, quote, as Jehovah is speeding up the work, we should take advantage of every opportunity to witness incidentally, unquote. 1946, June 15th, Watchtower, page 189, quote, all of us rejoiced at the Lord's provision for the speeding up and enlarging of the work in this republic, namely by the establishment of branch office here to directly supervise the work, unquote. Thank you for hanging in there. I told you it was redundant, but the information is so important to comprehend how this cult works, how they keep their members, their followers, under a continual mind control. So I hope you share, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.
I'm changing